My topic BLTC with media. My organization is like here, KCCN, Alliance Iowa Christian Network. I was a plant designer long time ago, and I became a church pastor, senior pastor in Manila New Life Church during 10 years, and after that, director of Korean Diaspora Forum, network of Korean diaspora churches all over the world. Finally, I became a producer. Our identity of ministry mission is to produce contents. So I think our identity is a media group, production we are. KCCN is producing contents of BLTC in video. We have trained many pastors in the Philippines with videos, but we have struggled to find the proper contents. But good contents provider has their right, and the poor contents is not effective. And we don't have money to plan to make a project. So we just bring our camera to field classroom and the seminaries. So at that time, I could do my best, but our contents was very limited and not standardized. So some is 2 hours, some is 2 weeks amount, some is for doctoral degree, or some is layman's. So I cannot make a course with these various contents. But when I met this Leadership International, I found gold in this course. Especially these 2 columns are very effective, especially during my pastoral experience. I have felt many needs in my ministry, but I found that seminary did not teach what I need on my ministry. So I need to study by myself, or a seminar, or some other course I need to take. But when I met this 20 subject, yes, this is what I needed in my ministry. And this will be good for pastors. So we adapted this program to KCCN, our production contents, and we translate into Tagalog because unequipped pastors, Philippine pastors, are not capable in English. So we immediately started a translation into Tagalog, Filipino language, and we recorded in video with Pastor Vincent Villones. He's a good teacher and God sent, we believe.
Pang-pito, ang mga tagapanguna ay bumubuo ng bawat grupo para magtrabaho. At pang-walo,
we are video production, so we could create a good quality of video, and the teacher is very good communicator, especially contents is verified by other places, countries already. So we are so exciting, and we created a course, Alliance Iowa Christian Network, Biblical Leadership Training Center. It has 2 years course. It is 2 years course with 6 semesters, 1 semester 4 months, and 4 subjects. So whole 6 semesters. Our strategy, we don't want to be a training body, but production yet. So we were looking for partners. We called training centers or trainers, those who will recruit trainees on the field. And we will provide our contents. Training center recruit the trainees and use our material, video, and Tagalog PDF or printed book. They will have a training. According to our experience, Media is very powerful, video is very powerful, online is very powerful, but face-to-face is more powerful, we found. So we stopped to upload our contents on YouTube. And then we delivered our contents to the training centers in USB. And the gathered together, and the watching together, and the sharing together, encouraging together, correcting together. That is very powerful. We finished translation 71% already, and our production 50% already. It took 1.5 years yet. So I wish we can finish this one within this year, but it is not impossible. Within next year. Reverend Kang is here. He is one of the first runner in the Philippines as a training center. He is using our contents and the trainees, but our production speed is not following the training speed. So we are pushed a lot. Anyway, we are doing our best. With our produced content, we have trained on the field. Valenzuela, we have trained, and in Angeles, we presented what BLTC is, and the 7 missionaries united with the BLTC and sending their church leaders to his center, and he is facilitating this more than 40 trainees. Finished 1 semester already, 4 months already, and the second semester is going to be finished this week. You will finish. Yeah. Every week they gathered and spending having training 3 hours a week by video. So we are sending video, and he's conducting, facilitating the training. And he used to send pictures like this, I believe. So excited he is by the eyesight of trainees. They are watching video, but more than video. They are learning, challenged by the contents a lot, and they are changing, I believe. This is Iba Zambales, about 7 hours distance from our place. And we had a training there, and Aeta pastors joined here in our presentation, and they are very interested in our contents. One question, can I get degree from this training? At that time, we could not answer. Anyway, they are concerned, big concern they showed. This is Palawan, 1 hour flight from here. 1 hour? Yes, a big island. We had a training there in Puerto Princesa, and the response was great. This is most of them assemblies of God pastors. They maybe finished the theological training already, but this BLTC, yes, they gave a lot of feedback later. And the Nara, Palawan also. A lot of mountain province pastors gathered, and they were taught by BLTC. Some worked more than 5 hours, and some traveled 2 days, and they joined the training. And according to the principal, this was the biggest number at their training center. It was great. You can see the face of the trainees. Wow, wonderful it was. And Rojas, Palawan, Reverend Yun is from this Palawan also. He was with us also at that time. He was witness of our ministry there. And I wish he will be the good training centers, and he will spread BLTC in Palawan more and more. This is Aeta Pinatubo area. 1 hour by from main road to the mission center. It is very remote area, but there is one training center, mission center with church. It was active 20 years ago, but now it is inactive already. One of the reasons is this. This is one of cult heresy in the Philippines, Ang Dating Daan. So they pioneered this place with a media strategy. There is no 3G, there is no television signal, no electricity also. But this Ang Dating Daan has their own television, cable TV program, and they are bringing to this place, deep mountain, and installed the high antenna and the receiving their media program every day. Villagers gather this Ang Dating Daan church every day in the morning and watching their videos in the evening, Last Supper, and going home. Next day, another media ministry began. So because of that, many people moved to Ang Dating Daan, and the church missionary could not visit there frequently. So leaders getting weaker. But through this media ministry, BLTC training, they gave a big attention on our program and asked to come again. Not determined yet. This is Baguio, mountain province. Many mountain province pastors gathered in this conference. One Korean missionary has served many mountain places, churches, church leaders. So he has a big influence to them. Anyway, he gathered church leaders, mountain pastors in this Baguio, and he invited us to introduce BLTC, especially video BLTC, to them. They could not have enough opportunity to be trained by good teachers, but with this BLTC program, yes, they asked us to how to begin BLTC in their place. This is semester completion with Reverend Kang 2 weeks ago. It was first completion of semester. Even though it is not a graduation or full course, but the 4 months they finished, and we enjoyed the first fruit. We celebrate the graduate. Most of them finished and passed the guideline. We set the guideline 70%, 50% attendance, 30% assignment, 20% attitude in the class. But most of them were so sincere in the class. And our KCCN steps are opening BLTC also. Pastor Vincent, his Kabading church launched BLTC already. And the Pastor Thurr, he was worship leader today. His church, TGIF, began BLTC training with 5 members. And the Pastor Henry, he was keyboard. His church, Grace Gate, began BLTC online class. They are so busy, it is not possible to gather every week. So they are having training on online using our video. And Dave, our production director, has online training also. Why media ministry? Because it is possible. Even though my major was mechanical engineering, not the communication or some other. But technique is not difficult for me. It is not for me yet. Everybody can do it because a lot of tutorial you can find on YouTube. And yes, program developer, their concern is to make it easier so everybody can use their programs, applications. So just we can pick up and use easily. You cannot believe, easily. By the way, actually easy. If you can use word processor, you can create a video. Anyway, technique is not a matter. And the equipment, you can see a lot of equipment behind. So, wow, so expensive. But it is more, all of our equipment is cheaper than your car. It is possible without installing big antenna or transmitter, or without a big amount of equipment. Just what we have still possible. And even your smartphone can be good equipment, and the cost also. And with this media, collaboration is possible also. One of the example, this is English BLTC.
Hi,
Pastor Thurr and I am editing this one. But the speaker is from
But before we start
South Africa.
I just want to go
So the professor, Peter Vermeulen, is recording in South Africa and uploading on Dropbox, and we download and edit it. As you see, his video quality is not quite good.
Otherwise, it's just
So just what he can record, and we receive and edit as much as possible. So collaboration is possible. Maybe almost one day you applied, young right? Almost one day he need to spend to come here, but it is possible to collaborate with South Africa and Philippines together. And I believe this English BLTC would be used for training trainers, and especially the place where trainers cannot be trained. So remote area or some difficult area, they can utilize this for training also. I don't know how God will use, but almost we are finished completing the English project already. And the media, why we are using media? Because it is possible to break through the limitation, restriction. If you have some persecution, you need to consider to use media. I heard about 20 years ago or 10 years ago in China, a lot of CDs were spread. So Christian contents, teaching contents were spread in China. Even though it was not free to spread the gospel, but media was possible. But now, internet era, is much more powerful to break through. And the geopolitical limit we can overcome. Wide and isolated, but we can reach through. And if you have a lackage in resources, you don't have enough teachers, you don't have manpower, you don't have material, you need to think to use media, because media can make a way. If there is no way, but this media can be an alternative way. In the Philippines, 7,000 islands we have. And in this year, January, I prayed 100 training centers. Please allow to install 100 training centers in this year in the Philippines. At that time, there was no clue, or it was just the cloud. But with the media, it is not possible, I believe. And the speed of spreading these training centers, it is not difficult, because by manpower, making another training center needs one more trainer, or we need to share the time, or many restrictions we need to have. But this media, yes, one more training center means one more partner, and we can copy and send. That's all. They can begin again. One more center, yes, copy again, copy again. If they are convinced, and if they have a passion to train their people, one more center is so easy. So increasing number of training center was remarkable, but we stopped to make a number increase, because our production is more a priority. And maybe next semester you need to pause a little until we finish the production. I'm so sorry. Anyway, many restrictions can be overcome by media. This is Mindoro, Mansalai Island. From my place, it took 12 hours by car, and by ship, and by car again. There is a Mangyan tribal Bible school there, and the Korean missionary pioneered there more than 100 churches, and many church leaders, pastors are there, but training is not easy. So Korean missionary trying to train them, but language barrier is still remained. And he invited a good professor from good Bible school from Manila, but he need to come by 12 hours. So it is not easy to have professors continuously. When he made this program, he invited us to have a training. They are Mangyan tribal leaders. And he suggested that, he informed that do not teach difficultly. They are very uneducated. They cannot understand. So easily teach them. But there was no option. We already produced all contents. So we cannot remake it for lower level. So we did. But when we started it, his information was not accurate. We began the training. Their eyesight was brilliant. And during sharing, some were crying, some were laughing, and responding from the screen, and saying Amen. And yes, it was great. So this Mansalai Mindoro Training Center is the second runner in the Philippines, and he's going to finish second semester sooner. And this Angeles Training Center gathered once a week, 3 hours. But in Mindoro, it is not easy to gather long distance. So 1 week a month, they are sleeping together and having training in 1 week. And after 1 week, they go to their church and applying what they have learned. Anyway, because of this media, they can be trained, and it is powerful. This media can use SNS. We are uploading many contents already, and some are watching the video also. And the reproduction is very easy, as I said. So spreading gospel doesn't mean just copying. So it needs our relationship, or we need to focus one person. But at least reproduction is very easy with media. That is true. And when we produce the media, there are many ways. Face-to-face is possible with the media, and the online possible, or self-study is possible, and the hybridity is possible also. We can make various kind of strategies we can make. When we produce one content, how we don't know how can be used in advance. And when we record it, it will be a history. Historian said, it is not written, and there was nothing. And this produced contents make history, I think. And the localization is easy also. One of example, we have produced Bible project contents into Tagalog. We translated into Tagalog 147 files and subtitled. Remaking dubbing is not easy, but subtitle translation with the subtitle is so easy. And the Teach Every Nation we have, and the Telos project we translated and subtitled also. Just I want to show shortly.
Understanding the remaining mission task. Who has already heard the good news about
Telos
Jesus?
project asked
And who
to
is
us
still waiting to hear for the first time?
Develop
Nearly
this kind of
10% of the world's
content, so
population
we
are committed
participated.
followers of Jesus, who believe
Anyway,
Jesus
this is
is
very,
who he said he is, and who have given their lives
efficient.
to him. They believe
to give a
anyone can
mission
know
heart.
God through Jesus, and they tell people around them about him. Many other people also identify as Christians.
And this is Bible project
Full
we have
accounts about
produced.
Jesus of Nazareth, his life, his death, and his resurrection. The book itself is anonymous, but the earliest reliable tradition links it to Matthew the tax collector, who was one of the 12 apostles that Jesus appointed, and he actually appears within the book itself.
Fortunately, Bible project made a dubbed file already, some, not all, in Tagalog. So our labor, our effort cannot be used anymore. Dubbing in Tagalog is much better. But without our efforts, we can enjoy the output of Bible project. Wow, that's better. Anyway, we don't want to make a masterpiece. So I'm not creative at all. And I'm not an artist also. Many movie maker or musician or the photographer try to make a masterpiece. So because of that, the passion, that will very limited can be successful. But media is making bridge. So even though it is humble, but when we figure out what they need and what can we provide, so we can build the bridge together. So because of this media, even though it is humble, but a lot of people can be helped. The media can be a bridge. So in your mission field, you can build what mission field need, and media can be a bridge to bring what they need. And media can make equilibrium. So a lot of, yes, some too rich and too poor in food or in theological knowledge, or some good. In Manila, there are many seminaries, Bible schools, and good seminars also. But Palawan or some other places, they don't have Bible schools, or they don't have good teaching. So unbalanced. But media can make equilibrium. So we can bring this one from good place to needed place. So we are looking for what they need and what enough. Especially, this is our motto, my motto. God reveals himself by media, and we reveal him by media. I believe God is God of media. Believe or not. It is not a matter of technique or skill. Creation, God used creation to show His invisible quality, eternal power, and the divine nature. God is using a creature to show His character, qualities. I can call creation is media. Prophets, God can speak to the people directly, but always using messengers. So messengers can be called media. Jesus is the exact representation of His being. So when we meet Jesus Christ, we say we meet God. When we heard Jesus' voice, Jesus' word, we can say we heard God's word. And Jesus is media. Anyway, Bible, God breathed. And when we read a Bible in the morning, we can say we have an intimacy with the Lord. So without this Bible, without this media, Christianity cannot stand. It cannot stand. God is using media. And the Christian is a letter from Christ. Yes, they cannot meet Jesus Christ anymore. But when they meet us, Christian, they can understand who Jesus is. That is strategy of Jesus Christ, and God is using us as media. Apostle Paul always visit mission field, but when he cannot go, he sent epistles. Even though it is expensive, possibility to be delivered is low, and long time it took. But he sent epistles. I think what is the more powerful? His visiting in mission field and his letter, his media ministry would be more powerful, I think. Without these epistles, a lot of chaos in our doctrine we can meet. Yes, he is using media as like God used media. I imagine when he comes again in this era, he would be a media worker in front of computer, Zoom, YouTube, KakaoTalk. He will send a lot of messages and communicating, discipleship, leadership training with media. God is using media, so why not? KCCN has some visions. First vision, equipping leaders. Second vision, overseas Filipino workers. And the third vision, Muslim background believers. This was given 15 years ago. I was thinking, this is my plan, but when time goes by, I realized that God gave vision to us, and I'm keeping these three visions, and I'm trying to do. One of the following the vision is working with Nono Badoy. We used to make his contents to train Philippine people, OFW,
Hi.
or
We would like
mission
to
art
welcome you
we
to
want
this
to
series
give by
of
the
study
media
on
with the
Introduction
PMA
to Strategic
contents.
Missions. We will be having two parts of the training. The first part will be
But MBB program, the MBB vision is in my mind yet. But recently, Jae Jang reported MBB ministry he is doing also. They requested BLTC to equip this MBB. So, wow, God is moving at this moment, I believe. And equipping leaders, Filipino church leaders, is possible by meeting Leadership International. So we are publishing and we are producing the contents, and we are trying to do our best to develop and making training with the media. I am so grateful, Leadership International, to introduce this good contents for us. Our main task or vision is Asia Leadership Training Media Center. We want to make this one. At that center, we want to produce leadership training content as like a BLTC in Asian languages, as like we produced. And on-the-job, as like on-the-job training, we can invite them at our center, and we can show what we are doing and how can emerge media and mission. We can give some insight, and we can let them use our equipment, and we can teach a technique to serve their people. And we can work with the diaspora. Is there now Myanmar ministry we have done, but in our office, Myanmar students engaged in Myanmar ministry, Burmese ministry, and we release it to Myanmar again. And if you want to make a BLTC, there can be a way. You can record from your place, but we don't know your character. One of diaspora in nearby here can work together. And we can consult your ministry also. And the convergence of media ministry and media and the ministry together, we have, I believe, good insight. Even though we are not a best expert in media, but I believe we can use media for God's kingdom in ministry. How to mix it? A lot of church is using media, but in my sense, used for internal purpose, needs. So raising funds, advertise to themselves, to others. So it's like a good sword, but cooking in kitchen. But media can be used to connect as like a bridge, or we can penetrate the restricted area. We can develop a lot of creative way with this media. Please pray for our Asia Media Center. This is one building, and it is not mine. One building owner suggested to us to use their roof deck to be a Asia Media Center. Yes, we prayed. I want to suggest add one more spoon on your table. Today, we are having conference with special speakers, but you know, it is releasing to Facebook also. Because of recording, this conference will be used for training in other country or other continent also. This is not for recording, but if you have a good ministry, invite media into your ministry, and your good ministry will be exploded. If your ministry is very poor or meaningless, media cannot explode. Media cannot expand your ministry. But if your ministry is meaningful, powerful, spiritual, good, media ministry can, your ministry 10 times, 100 times, more than 100 times. Media is bridge. Media is making equilibrium. I want to serve you in media. And we are making a way, and with this one, in your country, in your language, we want to make a partnership with you, and let you create this kind of ministry. Thank you.